Have you ever wondered if sex still matters after 73? Many people assume desire and intimacy fade with age, becoming little more than distant memories, like old photo albums tucked away in the attic. It's a belief so common that some older adults convince themselves that wanting intimacy is inappropriate or selfish. But here's the truth. Intimacy doesn't have an expiration date. In fact, science now shows that staying sexually connected, whether with a partner or even through self-touch, can influence everything from your heart and brain health to your sleep quality and self-confidence. As a doctor who has spent decades working with older adults, I've seen firsthand how intimacy in later life changes people. Patients who embrace it often report higher energy, less loneliness, and a renewed sense of purpose. Those who neglect it sometimes come to me complaining of fatigue, foggy memory, or even strained relationships, symptoms that, at times, link back to a lack of closeness and physical connection. Intimacy, it turns out, is not just about pleasure. It's about vitality, resilience, and the feeling of being truly alive, no matter your age. That's why in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 10 powerful, research-backed ways intimacy supports your health, happiness, and even longevity. You'll discover how staying sexually active can strengthen your heart, protect your brain, improve your sleep, and keep your relationships vibrant. Plus, what practical steps you can take right now to keep the spark alive, even if it's been a while. Before we dive in, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and give this video a thumbs up so you never miss another health tip designed for thriving in your golden years. And if this message resonates with you, share it with a friend or loved one who deserves to know that age is not the end of intimacy. It's just the beginning of a deeper, more meaningful chapter. When I think of the heart health benefits of intimacy, I often recall a patient of mine, George, who was 72 when he came in for a checkup. He'd recently rekindled intimacy with his partner after years of believing that sex was for younger people. Within months, he noticed he felt more energetic, his blood pressure readings improved, and he described himself as lighter on his feet. George didn't overhaul his diet or start a new gym routine. The biggest change was restoring physical closeness in his relationship. There's science behind his experience. Sexual activity increases circulation, raises heart rate temporarily, similar to climbing a flight of stairs, and helps maintain the elasticity of arteries. It's not the same as running a marathon, but for older adults, this kind of gentle cardiovascular workout matters. Research has found that seniors who remain sexually active tend to have lower risks of certain cardiovascular events, including heart attacks. One large observational study even showed that men who reported regular sexual activity were less likely to die from heart disease compared to those who were abstinent. But here's a very important note. If you have existing heart problems, especially recent heart surgery, chest pain, or uncontrolled blood pressure, always check with your cardiologist before resuming sexual activity. For most people, sex is safe and beneficial, but for some, medical clearance is essential. The takeaway? Intimacy isn't just emotional, it's literal cardio. By keeping the spark alive, you're also keeping your heart strong. Another benefit of intimacy that often goes unnoticed is its impact on muscles and joints. Think about it this way. Every time you engage in physical intimacy, you're moving, stretching, bending, stabilizing, and often supporting your body weight in different ways. For older adults, that movement can be comparable to a light workout, similar to yoga, gentle aerobics, or a brisk walk around the block. During sexual activity, multiple muscle groups are engaged, from your core to your legs to your pelvic floor. These movements promote circulation, help maintain joint flexibility, and encourage balance. Over time, that kind of natural exercise can reduce stiffness and keep you more agile in daily life, whether you're getting out of bed, climbing stairs, or reaching for something on a high shelf. Of course, intimacy shouldn't replace structured exercise. Weight training, stretching, and cardiovascular workouts are still crucial for healthy aging. But intimacy complements those activities in a unique way by combining physical movement with pleasure, connection, and emotional bonding. That makes it more enjoyable, which in turn makes it easier to stay consistent. And remember, intimacy doesn't always mean vigorous activity. Even small movements, cuddling, kissing, gentle touching, keep your body engaged and encourage circulation. These seemingly simple acts are valuable forms of movement, especially if you've been less active due to age, illness, or mobility challenges. So the next time you think of intimacy, don't underestimate it. It's not just about passion. It's also a natural way to keep your body flexible, balanced, and strong. Your brain might not be the first organ you think of when talking about intimacy, but it should be. Every time you engage in sexual activity, your brain releases a cascade of powerful chemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins. Dopamine sharpens focus and creates feelings of reward. Oxytocin deepens bonding and calms the stress response. Endorphins act as natural pain relievers and mood elevators. Together, they form a potent cocktail that helps your mind stay sharp and balanced. Research has shown that older adults who maintain an active sex life often perform better on memory and cognitive tasks compared to their peers who do not. While intimacy alone doesn't prevent dementia or erase age-related decline, it does provide meaningful stimulation for the brain, similar to how puzzles, social engagement, and physical activity contribute to cognitive health. Practical ways to combine these benefits include pairing intimacy with other brain-friendly habits. Enjoy a walk with your partner before intimacy to stimulate circulation. Share a healthy meal rich in omega-3s afterward, or challenge each other with a crossword puzzle in bed. These layered habits amplify the brain's resilience and create rituals that strengthen both mind and relationship. In short, intimacy isn't only about pleasure or closeness. It's mental exercise. Think of it as a joyful workout for your neurons, keeping your brain responsive, sharp, and engaged well into your later years. Over time, some couples slip into a dynamic that feels more like being roommates than romantic partners. The days are filled with errands, routines, and polite conversations, but the spark that once made the relationship vibrant feels distant. Intimacy is one of the most powerful ways to bridge that gap and return to feeling like true partners again. Simple acts like touch, eye contact, and physical affection carry enormous weight. A gentle squeeze of the hand, a lingering hug, or making time to kiss each other goodnight communicates trust, care, and belonging in ways words alone cannot. Intimacy deepens this further, reinforcing vulnerability and reminding both partners that they are seen, valued, and desired. When intimacy fades, loneliness often creeps in, even within committed relationships. Loneliness isn't just an emotion. It's been linked to depression, higher blood pressure, weakened immunity, and even shorter lifespans. By keeping emotional closeness alive through intimacy, couples create a protective buffer against these risks. The best starting point? Open conversation. Talk honestly with your partner about what you miss, what feels difficult, and how you can rebuild connection together. Vulnerability can feel uncomfortable at first, but it lays the groundwork for closeness that lasts. Ultimately, intimacy is more than passion. It's an anchor, keeping relationships steady, warm, and deeply fulfilling, no matter how many decades you've shared together. One of the most underrated benefits of intimacy is its impact on sleep. After orgasm, your body releases prolactin, a hormone that promotes relaxation and drowsiness. At the same time, oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, lowers stress and blood pressure, setting the stage for restful, restorative sleep. It's a natural recipe for drifting off peacefully. Contrast this with what many older adults experience: restless nights, tossing and turning, or relying heavily on sleep medications. While prescription sleep aids can help in the short term, they often come with side effects like grogginess, falls, or dependency. Intimacy, on the other hand, is a safe, enjoyable, and natural alternative for improving sleep quality. I remember one patient in her late 60s who told me with a laugh, "Doctor, I've tried every sleep pill on the market, but nothing works like a good night of closeness with my husband. It's the best medicine I found. Her story is far from unique. Countless Lever adults share similar experiences. The good news is, you don't need to focus solely on intercourse to reap the benefits. Gentle cuddling, kissing, or even quiet skin-to-skin contact can trigger oxytocin release and promote relaxation. Think of it as part of your sleep hygiene routine, right alongside dimming the lights and turning off your phone. Better sleep doesn't just restore energy. It sharpens memory, stabilizes mood, and supports overall health. Intimacy can be the missing ingredient that transforms restless nights into peaceful, rejuvenating rest. As we age, many people begin to feel invisible. Wrinkles deepen, hair turns gray, and society often sends the message that sexual vitality belongs only to the young.
For some older adults, this can erode self-esteem and create the sense that they're no longer desirable or attractive. Intimacy offers a powerful antidote. When you're touched, kissed, or embraced, it reinforces the message that you are wanted, valued, and worthy of love. The simple act of being desired by another human being, or even affirming your own body through self-connection, can restore confidence and remind you that beauty is not limited to youth. It's important to normalize the changes that come with age. A body at 70 or 80 looks different than it did at 20, but it carries decades of wisdom, resilience, and lived experience. Graying hair and laugh lines tell a story, and intimacy celebrates that story rather than erasing it. So let this be your affirmation. Intimacy at 70 or 80 is still beautiful and valid. You don't need to look like your younger self to feel attractive. Every touch, every kiss, every moment of closeness has the power to rebuild confidence and remind you that you are still vibrant, still desirable, and still deeply alive. Most people think of vitamins, exercise, or vaccines when it comes to immunity, but a surprising body of research suggests that intimacy may also play a role. Small studies have found that people who report more frequent sexual activity have higher levels of immunoglobulin A, or IgA, an antibody that helps defend the body against colds and infections. While the research is limited and often involves younger adults, the findings suggest that intimacy may stimulate the immune system in ways we're only beginning to understand. It's important, though, to be realistic. Sex is not a replacement for healthy nutrition, exercise, adequate sleep, or medical care. Think of it instead as one of many natural boosters, alongside laughter, social connection, and stress reduction. And let's not forget safety. Sexually transmitted infections can and do occur in older adults, particularly as more people live longer and form new relationships later in life. Using protection and getting regular health checkups remain just as important in your 60s, 70s, and beyond as they were in your 20s. So while intimacy won't make you invincible, it may give your immune system a little extra support, and when paired with healthy lifestyle habits, that can make a meaningful difference. Life doesn't stop being stressful as we age. If anything, new worries arise. Health concerns, financial pressures, or caregiving responsibilities can weigh heavily, and for many older adults, anxiety becomes a daily companion. Intimacy provides a natural, enjoyable form of stress relief that goes beyond temporary distraction. During sexual activity, the body releases a blend of hormones, oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, that work together to calm the nervous system, reduce tension, and create feelings of safety and contentment. These chemical changes act like nature's own therapy session, easing the weight of daily worries and promoting emotional balance. For many, intimacy is not just about release, it's about reassurance. I once had a patient describe sex with her partner in her 70s as the moment I stop overthinking and just feel safe again. That kind of comfort can be invaluable, especially in later life when external stresses can feel overwhelming. Of course, intimacy is just one tool. Practices like mindfulness, yoga, or deep breathing also help manage stress. But when combined, they form a powerful toolkit for emotional resilience. The takeaway is simple. Intimacy is nature's built-in stress reliever. It doesn't require a prescription, it doesn't have side effects, and it nurtures both body and soul at the same time. In every long-term partnership, intimacy acts as the glue that holds two people together. It's not just about physical pleasure, it's about reinforcing trust, affection, and the feeling of being truly seen by one another. When intimacy fades, couples may slowly drift apart, not out of lack of love, but out of lack of expression. Without touch, kisses, or shared moments of closeness, partners can begin to feel more like roommates than lovers. This emotional distance can creep in quietly. Conversations become routine. Shared laughter feels rarer. Passion dims, and one or both partners may feel undesired. But the good news is that this drift is not permanent. Connection can always be rebuilt, even after years of neglect. The key lies in communication. Talking openly about your needs, fears, and desires is the first step towards rekindling intimacy. For some couples, therapy provides a safe space to navigate these conversations. For others, small gestures, holding hands on a walk, exchanging compliments, or cuddling while watching TV, slowly reignite the bond. Passion may ebb and flow, but love is resilient. With patience and intentional effort, intimacy can become a deeper, more meaningful expression of your relationship in your later years. The message is simple. Even if the spark has dimmed, the flame can always be rekindled. The human body is designed to respond to use. Just as muscles weaken without exercise, sexual function can decline when it's no longer activated. For men, this might show up as erectile changes or longer arousal times. For women, it can be in vaginal dryness, thinning tissues, or discomfort during intimacy. These changes are natural, but they often become worse when intimacy is avoided altogether. Here's the encouraging truth. Most of these issues have solutions. Over-the-counter lubricants, prescription medications for erectile dysfunction, hormone therapy, and pelvic floor exercises can make intimacy comfortable again. These are not taboo fixes. They are legitimate medical supports, just like glasses for vision or hearing aids for sound. The worst thing to do is withdraw out of embarrassment. Avoidance can create a cycle where intimacy feels harder and harder to resume. Instead, see a doctor, ask questions, and explore options. You may be surprised at how much improvement is possible. Think of it this way. The body remembers when you remind it. Even gentle forms of intimacy keep blood flowing, tissues healthy, and nerves responsive. With consistency and care, sexual vitality can be maintained well into later life. What you can do today. Knowing the benefits of intimacy is one thing. Bringing it back into your life is another. The good news? You don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Small, intentional steps can make a big difference. Start with communication. An honest conversation with your partner about what you miss, what feels difficult, and what you'd like to try again can open the door to reconnection. Vulnerability often leads to understanding. Second, embrace small actions. A gentle touch on the arm, holding hands during a walk, or cuddling before bed all count as intimacy. These gestures may seem minor, but they build comfort and closeness over time. Third, consider medical solutions. If dryness, erectile issues, or low libido are barriers, options like lubricants, hormone therapy, or ED medications can help. There's no shame in seeking medical support. It's part of caring for your health. Fourth, don't overlook solo intimacy. Masturbation is a healthy, valid way to stay connected with your body, maintain function, and explore what feels good. Finally, approach intimacy with the right mindset. Be curious, be patient, extend compassion to yourself and your partner. Intimacy in later years isn't about chasing the past or trying to relive your 20s. It's about embracing connection in the here and now, with your partner, with yourself, and with life itself. Think of intimacy not as something you used to do, but as something that still belongs to you today, in a form that is just as meaningful, if not more so. So here's my challenge for you. If you're in a relationship, start with one small gesture tonight. Hold hands, share a kiss, or simply tell your partner how much you appreciate them. Small acts open the door to bigger changes. If you're single, begin with self-connection. Explore your own needs, your own body, your own comfort. Self-intimacy is just as valid and keeps you in tune with yourself. Every journey begins with one step, and you don't need to have all the answers today. What matters is that you give yourself permission to rediscover intimacy in whatever way feels right for you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Share in the comments one thing you'll try this week to bring more connection, closeness, or joy into your life. Your story might inspire someone else on the same journey. Thank you for watching or reading. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tips on living and aging vibrantly. Until next time, here's to your health, your happiness, and the intimacy that makes life truly worth living.